So what are you free?
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. I'm here in MTK Scotland gym. With me I've got the the owner, you're not? The owner?
The owner, yeah.
MTK Scotland, boss man, Danny Vaughan. Danny, huge weekend for MTK, Belfast and Glasgow. I don't know where to start really, but I suppose we might as well just start in Belfast. Before we talk about Tyrone McKenna winning that WBC strap against Dara Foley, just talk to me about the show itself. I mean, 50-50 fights up and down the whole card. It was great.
The show was absolutely brilliant. I mean, the Stephen Ward against Liam Conroy fight was just one of the best fights I've seen for a long time. I mean, for two big fellas like heavyweights to fight the way they did for 10 rounds, it's usually the little flyweights who are fighting like that. You know, they get all the accolades all the time, but them two deserve some credit. I mean, the two of them, what a fight. I mean, I was jumping on my seat because you know both guys are obviously for MTK and the telly, ESPN and everything. It was just an unbelievable fight.
It's quite strange that you get two really nice guys like Liam Conroy and Stephen Ward. They're such gentlemen, but then to produce a war like that with blood and everything, blood spurting all over the place, people ringside getting covered in blood. For two gentlemen to do that, it's quite a weird thing, isn't it? Yeah,
it is actually. See, I mean, they've sparred a lot. They are good friends as well. I mean, they go to Jamie's, they spar all the time. They go to Johnny's and spar, but two lovely fellas, and it's sad when you've got to have a loser. But testament to Stephen and Jamie and Johnny and Liam. The fitness was just unbelievable, and I believe that the fitness got Stephen to the fight, because when he got dropped, I think it was in I'm not sure, the 6th round or 5th or 6th round, I thought he was done. And even in the 7th round, his head went back a couple of times and he still come through it, and he come out fresh again, and you're like, you know, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And then he's playing in Liam's man. Liam thinks he's gone, and then Liam's all the time thinking, hang on, he should be gone here. Then he starts getting tired, and it was just back and forth all the time. It was unbelievable to watch, like it really was. Yeah, well, I'd say it was the best. It's fight of the year already, but it's one of the best big light heavyweight fights for big guys I've ever seen. That's how good it was, and that's not me going over the top, because we're boxing fans. Because as soon as Tyrone had boxed, I said, look, Ty, he's getting stitched up and everything. I said, I need to go and watch this fight, because I knew it had all the ingredients to be an absolute cracker, and it was.
Well, that's the brilliant thing. Well, let's talk about Tyrone McKenna. I mean, he's been after some sort of belt since he started his professional career, and the tactics that you put out for him were spot on.
Thanks very much.
The thing that Tyrone is one of them guys that gets dragged into a war, and I can remember I came to the changing room before the fight. I hope you don't mind me saying, you went, it's just me and you here, listen to what I've got to say and then we'll get through this fight. I don't know, don't quote me now, but you said something along them lines, and it was just me and you. So when you went up there, I watched the fight, and I was like, it's just everything you said to him, you put to thing, and he managed to actually drop that as well in the 9th round, I think. So how well do you assess his performance? Do you think it was 10 out of 10, or was it a few things he did wrong?
It's the best he's ever boxed. He did get drawn into a fight every now and then, but that's because Dara had a plan as well. I had a plan going in, what we've been working on for weeks, and as you said, I said to him, if you execute the plan, what I'm telling you, don't let the crowd get involved, because you told right hand or left hand, they're going mad in Belfast, like they do everywhere. And he just needed to stick to what I was saying. It's the best he's boxed. There was rounds in there where I thought I was looking at a different kid. But what I mean by that is, everyone just sees him cut a bit. Alright, he was cut, but I see him working day in and day out, and he's getting better with age all the time. And for me, it was a top performance. Dara, you've got to give him credit for playing his part in the fight as well. He brought it, and he was still bringing it till the last round. But no disrespect to Dara, I just believe that we had all the answers and we were better than him in every department. And Tyrone showed his class, and that he is ready for another level. He definitely is.
So what is next for him? Next for Tyrone? I mean, when I interviewed him, he wants a big fight in America. He called out Ramirez. He's calling out all these big, these world level opponents. I mean,
one of these fellas who'll fight anybody. So we'll have to sit down with MTK and see what's best for him. I mean, there's also domestic fights for him. He wants to fight Robbie Davis, to be honest. British and Commonwealth title, that would be a great fight. But you know, he does all the calling out. But whoever we say he's going to fight, he's going to fight. So he'll know in the next few weeks who he's going to fight, and we'll have a date for him as well. But he needs to enjoy this at the minute, because he's had like fights, 10 rounders with no belt on the line. He showed that he was ready against Jack Cattrall. He was hard at that fight. Jack won the fight fair and square, but Tyrone was coming into his own in the fight. So that still kills him to this day, knowing that, you know, if he would have done better early doors, he could have won that fight.
It was a knockdown, really, wasn't it?
Fair play to Jack. He won the fight fair and square, and his team. But for Tyrone, that belt means so much to him, because obviously he's been in hard domestic domestic fights, and just to have the belt, it just means the world for him. So, and myself with him, because I know how hard he works, and he's been with me now 3 years, and he's finally got the belt now to do a little bit of gloating in the gym as well, and a bit of posing.
Well, he
is a poser, by the way.
He is a massive poser. I mean, look at the shirts and the way he dresses, man. You can't dress like that if you're not a poser.
He's eccentric, isn't he?
No, I don't. Weird, I would say.
Strange.
Strange, aye. I'll clip this and post it to him. Let's take your coach's hat off then and put your manager's stroke promoter's hat on. MTK Glasgow, Scotland, at the weekend as well. Saturday night after Belfast. I mean, another great card, up and down. I mean, you had before Lee McGregor against Scott Allen, a great fight. You had Kieran Smith against Montero, another great fight. You had Craig McIntyre making his MTK debut, stopped a tough Chris Hathaway. I mean, another great stacked card up and down. It's like MTK are just pulling out the bag at the minute. Well, do you know what? We were sitting on the plane coming over, me, Lee and Ian and Dominic, and we were just talking, and we were like, you know, how are we going to top that on Friday night? It was brilliant. It was probably one of the best shows I've seen with MTK. Then we comes here Saturday night, knowing that we've made a couple of fights, but is it gonna gel and all it? So the first time Rhys McFadden come on early doors, he was brilliant against I don't know the kid's game, but he started the ball off rolling, and I thought this is going to be a good night. I could feel the atmosphere with the show coming. Jack Turner comes on, he does well. A young kid, that Craig Morgan, he's not actually MTK, but he boxed well, that kid. And then the first one, you got Craig McIntyre, first fight with MTK. It's against a tricky opponent. We've given the big stage with ESPN, and he's blew Chris Hathaway away with a fantastic right hand. So Craig now will move. We've got a show on September the 6th. Craig will move on to that. Then you've got Greedo against Lewis Benson. Was always going to be a sticky one for Lewis. Lewis didn't look himself. He didn't look good. He looked slow. He looked sluggish. He just, I don't care if he's just saying what I'm saying. That's my opinion. It was very, very close. It could have went to Greedo, to be honest. I mean, I had Greedo just edging it. You know, and I'm going to say that on camera because, you know, but Lewis has been unlucky in the past, so you've just got to say how it is, if you know what I mean. It swings round roundabouts. I mean, Greedo's going to be on your chest 20 foot. You know, as soon as he gets in there, he's on you. So you've got to be prepared for that. You can't in there thinking that you're going to box him, because all the best boxers with Greedo can't keep him off. So you've got to be ready. So once you know you're fighting Greedo, your mind's got to be on him. You've got to think, hang on, I'm going to have to fight in the phone box here, because he's going to be on me from the get-go. He doesn't let go. He doesn't let go. But he comes through it. You know, he's had his bad luck in the past. It doesn't matter whether I thought he got beat or not. He won the fight, and that's all that matters. So Lewis will now regroup. He's only been with Joe about 3 months. Go and work, do what you do in the gym, and come back a better fighter. Main event, Lee McGregor, Scott Allen. I mean,
Scott Allen, one of the best fights I've seen for a long time. I said to Lee before the fight, obviously Lee's MTK with us, and I know that Scott will get in his head and the builds up and all that. I was watching it when we were in Belfast, but Lee just needed to stick to what he knew best. He kept it long good, but when Lee was inside work, it was brilliant. The uppercut was working the street, the left hook round the side, and Lee was just getting a little bit carried away, as you do. It's don't forget, there's a lot of pride at stake. You've got Edinburgh, Glasgow, never mind that, they just don't like each other. But Scott played his part in the fight as well. He done better than what I thought he would, to be honest. He was in there, he showed that he's got loads of balls, he's got a good chin. But people were saying to me after it, you know, it was a premature stoppage. In my opinion, it wasn't. If it would have went any longer, Scott would have got knocked out, and that's in my opinion. He would have got hurt, he'd have got stopped, the kid. So, you know, he's gone out with it, you know, with his chin held high, his pride still at stake, still there, intact, sorry. But Lee looked really, really impressive. He looked strong, he's massive for the weight. And what we want to do with Lee is the fight that everyone's waiting for, and what all of Scotland wants, and England, is Lee McGregor versus Cash Farouk.
What a fight.
Cash has got a fight in August. We've already had talks with Ian Wilson anyway. We've got the ball rolling with it. We'll do it in November if we have to. We'll have another show in November just for that. And that's an amazing fight, and whoever wins that will more or less fight for world honours, without a doubt.
I said this to Lee as well. The Cash Farouk fight, do you think Cash will take? He's only got one more defence and he wins the British title outright, so his next fight, Cash won't be against Lee. I don't think he will win.
No, well that's the deal. What I already spoke to Ian about, and fair play. You know, they want Cash to be the first Asian kid to win a British title outright, which is fair play to them. Yeah, so we want the kid to go and win it, but we also want the Lee McGregor fight. So as I said, I spoke to Ian Wilson about it a few times. The fight will happen. Cash wants to fight, Lee wants to fight, but let Cash go and do what he's got to do first, and we're going nowhere. So we'll have that fight in November. There'll be a show in November, early December, but November more than likely to do the fight. And what a fight! I mean, you can put the fight anywhere in the world. It's going to be an absolute barnstormer.
It's one of the fights that Scotland has been, especially the smaller hall shows. That's that sort of fight that Scotland's been screaming for. You know, I mean, two undefeated kids that are 21, 22 years old, undefeated. British champion, Commonwealth champion, both belts on the line. I mean, it's a fantastic fight for, like you said, not just for Scotland, but maybe the whole of the UK and Ireland sort of thing, isn't it?
Andrew once got it's amazing now. What the draw was for Cash and Ian Wilson, like Ian's a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, we talk all the time, is what I'm saying to Ian is, let Cash go and win the British title outright. No disrespect to Ian or nothing, but like, listen, we're MTK, we're the ones who's bringing the big time boxing, we're on ESPN, we've got Top Rank. You've got to give Cash a chance to showcase his skills as well. And what a platform what he's getting as well to bring his British title. I'm not saying that, alright, we have got to tell you what I've just said, we've got everything MTK, ESPN. So what I'm saying to Ian is, no disrespect to Ian or anyone else, but Cash will probably go and defend his title, say, in a hotel or a sports centre. You know, but might be packed, but there won't be any telly there. So Cash is going to get the platform for ESPN to come and showcase what he can do, as I've just said. And Lee, so for me, what an amazing fight, and it's got to happen. There's no politics in it because we're friends. MTK work with Salter. Ian's a good friend of mine. Cash is a friend. Lee, there's no bad mouthing anyone. Let's just make the fight happen.
That's the say. There's no bad mouthing. They're both good kids.
There's no shite getting talked to you, like no bollocks at all. They respect each other. Me and Ian are friends. Ian works with MTK. We work with. I try and work with everyone in Glasgow and Scotland. So it's a fight that will happen. It will happen.
I've got to ask Danny, I mean, we spoke a little bit off camera with Waz out there.
We need to talk about Kieran Smith first.
Oh, Kieran Smith, yeah.
If I don't talk about him, he'll be on the phone in 5 minutes.
Yeah, bollocking me. You probably text me as well, so Kieran Smith,
Kieran Smith, going on to Kieran, I thought he was a mature. For me, the best he's boxed. He looked class. Borderline, for me, borderline world class. The performance was brilliant, I thought. Stuck to what Ped was telling him. I was watching in the corner what they were doing. He wasn't over elaborating, he was just building on everything they were doing every round, and he just looked stronger. And he knocked the fight out of Montero because he's a tough man. But he didn't want to know. Didn't want to know after 6th round because he wasn't getting his own way. And Kieran was bullying him and just dictated with the jab, and Kieran looked really, really good to me. So that's the best he's fought. So we'll make another defence now on September the 6th in Glasgow again. Well,
I said this to Kieran when I interviewed him as well. I mean, the division he's in domestically is brilliant. I said, so where does your name sit? And I gave him a couple of names. I gave him Anthony Fowler, I gave him Scott Fitzgerald, I gave him Ted Cheeseman, I gave him Kieran Conway. Is it Conway?
Yeah.
Conway. I gave him these guys there. Obviously, right now they're in the mix at the British. Brian Rose as well, you can chuck him in there as well. So where does your name sit amongst them? And he says, right there.
He's right in the middle with them all. Yeah. He's right in the middle with them all. While we're on camera, I'll tell you, Kieran Conway fight we've been talking about. So if we can make the Kieran Conway fight for September the 6th, Kieran's happy with it, and so is Kieran Smith. So that's more than likely the fight what we'll go for. After that, we'll see. He'll probably be in number 1 to fight for a British title, and if we wanted it, or a Commonwealth title. But he's got his own path what he's going on. He fights anyone you ask. The last 3 fights what we've put to him, the last 3 opponents have pulled out. Not on our behalf, it's just things have happened. Michael McCART would have been one of the best fights you're going to see for 2 Scottish fighters. We can do that again later in the year. Let's just get Michael, hopefully Michael comes back with and gets his scans approved and everything, and we'll get that kid a fight, and we'll keep Kieran moving. We'll get Michael out hopefully on the 6th, and we can build that fight again. But other than that, Kieran's got plenty of fights, names you've just mentioned, and Michael's coming through the other side of it as well. So, but yeah, Kieran ticked all the boxes for everyone at MTK the other day. He boxed great.
Now we've got that out of the way, I don't think Kieran's going to...
No, we're alright now.
He'll be alright now, right? Sorry about that, Kieran. I didn't forget about you. I was going to leave you to last. I was going to save the best to last. That's what I was going to do.
You better tell him that.
Like I said, Waz was meant to fight in Glasgow.
Yeah.
I've been in and out of camp. As you know, I've been coming to the gym every other week for the last...
year. Yeah.
So and I was looking forward to seeing Waz. I mean, the stuff that you tell me, the stuff that I see in the gym, I mean, the guy is exciting.
Well, we've let you come and watch spars when we don't let everyone watch spars, but we've let you come in with no camera and see what your thoughts was and that, and you've seen him, what he's on about.
He is a special talent.
He's a special talent.
Well, he wasn't fighting in Glasgow. I mean, the brain scan and all this sort of stuff. We spoke about it. I don't know if you want to just elaborate a little bit on what's happened.
Yeah, because my phone hasn't stopped with it, and people, even like press, getting on to me over it. What it was hadn't had a brain scan since 2017, and then that was in Vegas. So obviously the British board very strict, which is so it should be. Who am I to question it, what the board says? They said something popped up on the scan, but was had been sparring prior to that a few days before. So experience tells me they must be like, you can get bruising off the brain whether you've got egg guards on or 16-ounce gloves, and you do get bruising on the brain. So that was an MRI scan. Then the board wanted to do an MRA scan. We went and done that, but it just was too slow to get it through before the fight, so Waz couldn't fight. We don't think there's much wrong with Waz, but we've got to go and see a specialist sometime this week, and hopefully he gets approved, and we'll try and get him out. Well, we will get him out on rather Liverpool on the 12th of July or Brentwood on the 20th of July. But let's first and foremost, let's hope that it's nothing major. Get it, Waz to say, the doctors say, not me, the doctors say, look, he's fit to box, and then we'll take it from there. But he'll be out shortly. But listen, it was very disappointing.
Because you said you had the Pakistani TV came over.
It was a big build up, and the Pakistani TV had come. I mean, the press he was getting, the build up he was getting, like all of the Pakistani communities from everywhere were coming. You had Liverpool people coming, Birmingham, Sheffield, Glasgow, you name it. He's a massive name anyway, but they're just all getting behind him now. So it was a little bit of it was a kick in the balls for Waz, Most and myself that people never got to see him. But they will see him very, very soon. Hopefully everything goes to plan, and we'll get him out here on September the 6th as well, so we can get a fight out somewhere in the next couple of weeks, and then build it back up again for the big time for him, because he lives in Glasgow now, so he's a Glaswegian now.
Really?
That's what it is.
McWaz.
Yeah, McWaz.
How far do you think? I mean, he came up short in his last world title fight, but I mean, now he's trained under you. I've seen him and all this. How far do you think he can go? Do you think he can get that world title?
1,000,000% he'd be world champion. Now, when he fought Maruti for the world title was last June. It was Ramadan again, so he was fasting all day and eating through the night. And as everyone knows, our Asians all know, it's very, very tough to do that. You're not drinking water and stuff. This time round will be different. We're going to get him a fight as soon as possible. Then there's talk of him, because he was WBC full silver champion, and he only lost it through inactivity. So MTK have got a good relationship with WBC. Waz has got a good relationship with Suleiman himself. They still speak and text. They're going to invite him to fight for that title again after maybe his next fight. Maybe pick that up on the way along. I'm not sure who Charlie Edwards is fighting next or Maruti's fighting next, but the way things are going in here in the gym with Waz, the way he's looking, we'll jump at a world title fight this year, towards the end of the year. Let's get 2 fights done. If it's not this year, it's next year. But the way I've gelled with him and everything's come together, I'm not like big and we do work hard together, but I can see the difference from videos when he first come, and Waz is telling me, and everyone else can see it. So in my opinion, Waz will be world champion very, very, very soon. He's probably the best little flyweight I've had for a long time. Power wise, like I've had Jamie Conlon, who was busy, who was in wars all the time. Going back to Peter Culshaw, Paul Edwards, who were champions with me years ago, British and Commonwealth. And then you've got Paddy as well.
You had Charlie Edwards. I trained Charlie Edwards
as well. I had Charlie for 2.5 years, 3 years, and fought for a world title. Power wise, he punches harder than them all, to be honest. But we've been working on things. He's not the finished article, but he's very, very close to being it. And just going back to Paddy now will be fighting at light flyweight. So Paddy's realised that he probably is too small for flyweight. We've got a nutritionist on board.
Too small for bantamweight.
Yeah, too small for light welter. We've got a nutritionist on board now named Stephen Floyd, who's from Belfast, but he works in John Moores University in Liverpool. He's on board now looking at the nutrition. So even like Tyrone's performance the other night, he's back on the diet, doing everything right. So we're trying to do everything we can here at MTK Scotland, professional. So it's all like me training with you for 4 hours, Andrew, and taking you running and sparring and all that. It's what you put in your mouth is the big problem. So if I've got a nutritionist in-house, it's a lot of pressure off me worrying what they're doing as well. So things are looking really good for us at the minute, and everyone's enjoying it.
We touched on Paddy. The fight that I think that a lot of people are excited about is Sean McComb.
Yeah.
I mean, every time he's stepped up, he's put on a masterclass against whoever he's faced. So I suppose my question is, how fast can you fast track Sean? I mean, he's 6 fights in. He only turned pro in August last year. He's not even a year as a pro yet, but he's doing everything right.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's in a division where it's stacked.
It's a lively division.
It's a lively division. As his coach, manager, stroke, whatever, how do you match him, Danny?
It's very tough, Andrew. Now, he dismantled that kid in the first round last time. You know, he was 14-2, supposed to be giving us the rounds. Sean caught him a lovely left hook to the head before that, and the body shot finished him off. So he's come through that in a round. So you're like, what are we going to do next? He's fighting on the feeler on the massive McCART cards on the 3rd of August in Belfast. Supposed to be an 8-rounder. If a title shot comes, we'll take it. That's how confident I am with him. So I'd let him fight any champion at light welterweight apart from Josh Taylor. Anybody else I would. Obviously he can't fight Taro and Sam, but any of the other lads like Robbie Davis or Akeem Ennis-Brown or whoever they are, he's ready for all them right now. He really is. So it's fast tracking him and it's holding him back. How can you hold someone back who's got the ability, who's moving forward, who knows deep down that he belongs at that level? Us as a team, MTK, I'm his trainer, and you know, he's got a manager. For me, I'd let him fight any of them right now. So let's just see what the feeler brings. It could be an 8-rounder or it could be a title shot. Either way, he's ready. He really is.
So Maxwell, I mean, he's fought in February, March time, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm just off the phone to MTK then. Obviously Sam wants a big fight, but while the inactivity sets in, I don't want him not fighting for say 6-7 months. Yeah. So we're trying to get Sam out on a 6-rounder, maybe in Liverpool in a few weeks if we can, or you know, in the next few weeks, Liverpool, London, whatever. But Sam's back training now, so Sam will be doing 6-rounder somewhere very, very soon, and then a big fight after that.
Perfect. So again, you talked about the failure, Bill. I mean, I want to get a touch on Mick Conlan, if you don't mind. I mean, like, he's fighting obviously Vladimir Nikitin.
Wow.
But this is the fight he's wanted. I think I said to Jamie Conlan as well, his brother, I said, is this like this cloud that's been over him since the Olympics? Once he beats Nikitin, that cloud's gone, he can finally move on with his career. Do you sort of echo that? I
do, yeah, because he got robbed, the kid, didn't he? And, you know, in the Olympics, it was a proper robbery, and he won the fight easy. And he just, you know, he won a world title as well, world amateur title. I had him winning the Nikitin fight easy enough. So it must be in the back of his mind all the time. So he's going to now get his home, in his home city. Fight in, what is it? It's not Nikitin or Nikitin, yeah. Fight him and put it right, and then he can move on. But Mick's ticking all the boxes. Mick's going to be world champion. He's looking good. He's gelled with Adam Bird. He just looks like he's getting better all the time. He's a gentleman of a kid as well. And get this fight out the way for him. Get sort of like putting it to bed now. Once he's beat him, you're gone. My mind is like set now. Once you're done, my mind is set beyond a world title, and he will be world champion.
Well, I agree. I totally agree.
He's got some ability, to be honest.
Definitely has. He definitely does. I mean, his amateur record speaks for itself.
But he must have sleepless nights over that, though, mustn't he? No
That's
matter,
what I was thinking.
Because he was destined to be world champion. You know, people said, would he have medals? You know, he would have won gold for me. So to win a Commonwealth Games, win a European
World Championship,
and then a World Champion, and that was there, to get it robbed off you the way it did, and we know why. And then he's give it the middle finger.
What's famous for that? Who's zooming on that?
He's famous for that, isn't he?
Yeah.
But you can understand it. So he must have been weak. He must have had nightmares over that over the years, because Jamie's like, I trained Jamie. Jamie's like a brother to me. So I know the way Jamie and his dad John, who's a good friend as well, how they were feeling. So they just want to put a wrong right, and once they beat Nikitin up, then the kid can just move on then and just set his mind on world level and world titles.
I just want to touch on this as well, the whole ESPN IFL thing that's going on with the showcasing these fights, well, over in America for these kids, and obviously free on IFL TV. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that for these young fighters coming through. I mean, guys like Rhys McFadden and Lee McGregor, and even the guys over in Belfast that were fighting. I mean, it's some exposure for them that they probably, if they turned pro 5 years ago, they would never have got.
No.
You know what I mean?
Like, I woke up to this morning, so it's Monday now, so we've been working in Belfast, working over there. Friday, you're also involved with the show, although I've got Tyrone boxing, I'm still hands-on with whatever the team want me to do. Lee, Paul and Ian and Martin, whatever they want me to do, I'll help. Put chairs out, listen, I'm not a prima donna, I get my hands dirty, you know the score.
They roped me into that one time.
Yeah, you've done it, putting numbers on seats and all. Everyone just puts the graft in. That's why you're successful. There's no egos with us. We just do what we're doing. And but Lee, I get a text off Lee McGregor this morning. Thanks for yourself and MTK. You know, I've come on board. The platform I've got. I've watched the fight back. It was just amazing. You know, I've got to pinch myself that I'm going out live to America and everything on ESPN. Can't thank us enough. Like Craig McIntyre, another one on Saturday afternoon. Sunday morning. Dan, I can't believe I've just signed for MTK 4 weeks ago with yourself.
Perfect.
I wasn't having box, being left in limbo for like 10 months, having boxed. All of a sudden you rang me up and said, look, would you be ready to go on ESPN? We think you deserve it. You know, the tickets you've done and everything else, you've put the graft in. He said, I couldn't believe it. He said, now I've gone in, I've knocked the kid out, Chris Hadaway. It was a tough, you know,
kid,
I've boxed in with Tom Stoker and a few lads over the years.
He's lost 56, but he'd only been stopped six times. So he's pretty
So we said to Craig, you know, just get the rounds in because you haven't boxed for a bit. But like, he's knocked him out, and it's looked extra special knockout. And then, but to do it live on ESPN and IFL, the kid's over the moon. So I'm made up for him because he's an absolute cracking kid as well.
Well, I told you the viewing numbers for both shows. I mean, you combine the both shows, over 120,000 views for both shows. I mean, that's some Sky Sports Next Gen probably don't even get that. You know,
unbelievable.
So it's quite a high number.
What you said, that's unbelievable. But that's the work what MTK are putting into it. You know, and you look at them shows the other day. I mean, obviously we've all grew up with Sky Sports and Frank Warren shows and everything. But you looked at the production and you're watching it on the television at home the other day, which I've watched it 3 or 4 times. It looks like a show from America or somewhere. You know,
with the lights,
the build up with the lights and everything. It's amazing. And then when you're watching it, like I was sitting at the show on Saturday night, and I'm sitting there watching it from ringside, and then you've got MTK, Top Rank, ESPN. You think, what the fuck's going on here? It's unbelievable because, you know, I've sat there a million times before, and it's just been a normal show, and then you've got to pinch yourself to say, hang on, we've arrived here. We're MTK. We're the main outfit in boxing. We really are. And for me, sitting there, just proud as punch, just watching it was amazing.
Good stuff, oh.
Amazing.
I've had you for nearly half an hour, Danny, believe it or not. So my final question is, what's next for MTK Scotland?
Next for MTK Scotland, we're already sealed for September the 6th.
Yep.
So we'll have a show on ESPN again on September the 6th. Obviously we'll have Kieran Smith on that. We'll have David Brophy coming back. We'll have Lee McGregor on it again, and hopefully a couple of Celtic title fights on it as well with Lewis Benson and that, hopefully. And it'll be a cracking show as well, because, you know, right now, so what's happened now is we're putting bums on seats. People are screaming for the show. So are we going to get better than that? Yeah, we'll show you the next show again. It'll be better than the last. So you're learning on the job. Obviously you'll have a few teething problems, a few baby steps, things don't go right. So you're learning on the job, and for the team and what they produced on Friday and Saturday, everyone deserves credit for it, and it was amazing. But MTK are here to stay, and the show's just going to get bigger and better.
Well, I echo that, Danny. I echo everything you just said again. Thanks for doing this 5L TV. Like I said, I've had you for half an hour, man. You can talk nowadays, eh?
Yeah, I couldn't get 2 words out of a couple of days ago.
Well, I didn't get you on fight on Saturday night, but I've got you now. Which again, thank you for your time, and I always appreciate you inviting me to the gym to do this. So, for me, thank you very much, and again, thanks for doing this 5L TV.
Same for you, Andrew, and I appreciate it. Thanks very much, mate.
Thanks very much, Dan.
Thank you.
So what are you